Paramanand Ashok Pawar, working as an assistant professor in electrical engineering department, NB Navale Sinhagad College of Engineering, Solapur. I have completed my BE from Government College of Engineering and also I have completed my MTech from TIT Bhopal, specialization in power system. Now I am having the total teaching experience of 8 years. Today we are dealing with one of the important voltage regulation technique of alternator, and that technique is called as a ZPF method for the alternator. So let's will start to discuss the ZPF method. So zero power factor method is also called as Pottier triangle method. So before we going to start the ZPF method, we shall discuss why the zero power factor method is very important and why it is used instead of synchronous impedance method and the MMF method. So first thing, as we know that the EMF method is most easiest method for finding the voltage regulation, but it is a approximate method. No accurate value of voltage regulation shall be calculated from this particular method. The second method is called as MMF method, that is magnetomotive force, that is ampere turn method. So this method is a optimistic method than the EMF method, but it consider the effect of armature reaction, but it is does not consider the effect due to the armature leakage reactance and the armature synchronous reactance drop. So that's why the ZPF method is most accurate than GMF and MMF method, because it consider the effect due to the armature reaction and XL, that is XAR drop. So that's why this method is very popular for the finding out the value of the voltage regulation of a alternator. So this is the zero power factor triangular method to find out the voltage regulation. So let's will start the detailed explanation in concern with the zero power factor method. So as shown in that particular figure, there is a circuit diagram, and that circuit diagram is considering for the experimental setup of ZPF method. So in that particular method, we want to get the zero power factor at the wattmeter reading. So first of all, the first part is we are using, that is DC shunt motor for the giving the excitation to the alternator. So this is the 3-point starter, and from 3-point starter there is a DC shunt motor which will be give the excitation to the alternator. This is a basically alternator model which is shown by the excitation circuit as well as its armature circuit. So as we know that from the armature of the alternator we are connecting to the load. So from the three phases of alternator, that is RYB, we are connecting a three-phase inductive load which has power factor that is 0. So this is the circuit diagram for the zero power factor method to find out the voltage regulation. Again I am repeating, this is the DC shunt motor which is required to give the field excitation to that particular alternator circuit. So this is the alternator module which is required to do the zero power factor. So in the armature circuit we are connecting a three-phase highly inductive load, and this is the excitation circuit of the alternator. Okay, so the experimental data required is, first of all we should know the no load curve, the second that is full load zero power factor curve. So what do you mean by the zero power factor curve? So it is a curve of terminals volt against the excitation when the armature delivering full load current at zero power factor. Means if we are connecting the inductive load, the power factor should be a 0. Okay, so the reduction in voltage due to armature reaction is found from the above, and the voltage drop due to the armature leakage reactance XL, called as Pottier reactance, is found from both. By combining these two, E can be calculated. The ZPF lagging curve can be obtained by loading alternator with pure reactors, that is inductive load. So for understanding of zero power factor method, we should know the no load curve and full load zero power factor curve. So let's we start in detail to explain the zero power factor curve. So as shown in figure, here there is a point B was obtained in this manner when the wattmeter was reading 0. Point A, where there is a point A, is obtained from a short circuit with full load corresponding current. Hence the value of OA represents field current which is equal and opposite to magnetizing armature reaction for balancing leakage reactance drop at a full load. Knowing these 2 points, full load zero power factor curve AB can be drawn. So first of all, draw the zero power factor curve, and that zero power factor curve is a AB in. So the first method to draw the curve, that is point A and point B. Okay, so this is the first step. So the second, that is from point B. So there is a point. So there is a point B. The BH is drawn equal and parallel to OA. So the draw, that is the BH is drawn, that is equal and parallel to the OA. From H point, from H, the point is here, HD is drawn, HD is drawn, HD is drawn parallel to initial straight line part of no load curve, that is parallel to the open circuit characteristics which is tangential to no load curve. Hence we get point D on no load curve which corresponds to point B on full load zero power factor curve. The triangle BHD is drawn as a Pottier triangle. So the angle, that is triangle BHD, that is the triangle BH and D, this triangle is called as a Pottier triangle. Okay, so from that particular triangle, this triangle is constant for, this triangle is basically constant for a given armature cuts, and hence can be transferred to give us points like M and L. So we want to get the points, that is ML, from that particular point which is transferred. Draw DE perpendicular to the BH. So draw DE perpendicular to BH. So the DE perpendicular to BH. So this has been drawn here. So represents the voltage drop in voltage due to the armature leakage reactance, that is IXL drop. So it will show the drop, that is I into XL. So this will be drawn perpendicular to BH. So it will shows the reactance drop. Okay, BE gives the field current necessary to overcome the demagnetizing effect of a armature reaction at full load, and GEH for balancing the armature leakage reactance drop DE. Let V be the terminal voltage on a full load. Then if we add it vertically to the voltage drop due to the armature leakage reactance along neglecting RA, then we get voltage, that is E is equal to D into F. So we'll get the value, that is D into F. Here is a point D, here is a point F. So we'll get the value, that is the value DF will give you the value, that is E. So obviously this is the value of E but not the value of E0. Obviously, so the field excitation corresponding to E is given by NA is equal to BE. So NA, the value of NA is here, NA is equal to B. Okay, so this is the consideration. So overcome to armature reaction. Hence we added the NA vertical to given ampere turns, we get excitation EA whose value can be read from no load curve. So this is called as full load curve. So this is called as full load curve, and this is called as no load curve. This will be a characteristics. So this will be the basic requirement to draw the Portier triangle of a given value. So in figure, FG is equal to NA is drawn, that is angular, that is angle, that is 90 plus theta or 90 minus theta. As we know that 90 plus theta is for the lagging power factor, 90 minus theta is for a leading power factor. The voltage JK represents to the excitation. So the voltage, the value, that is the voltage GK is the value, that is J, here is K. So JK will show you the value of EA. So the voltage GK will show you the value EA, and EA, from EA will get the value of excitation. So GK is equal to E0. So percentage regulation can be calculated for the zero power factor triangle method, that is percentage regulation equal to E0 minus V divided by V into 100. So this is the procedure for plotting a zero power factor curve for to finding out the voltage regulation of a alternator. So in the given graph, we are assuming the lagging power factor with angle phi vector for a current is drawn at angle of phi to the V. IR is drawn parallel to current vector and IXL is drawn perpendicular to it. OD voltage E, the excitation corresponds to it. That is, OF is drawn 90 degree ahead if FG is equal to NA is equal to B, representing field current equivalent to full load armature reaction, is drawn parallel to current vector OAI. The closing side of OG gives the field excitation for E0. Vector E0 is 90 degree lagging behind OG. DL represents the voltage drop due to the armature reaction. So for this is the actual procedure for the finding out the voltage regulation by ZPF method. So we'll conclude the procedure. So first step, suppose we have the given voltage, that is terminal voltage per phase, we will be given, or else we can calculate the armature leakage reactance XL, hence can calculate IXL drop. This is the second step. The third step is that is adding the IXL, that is IRA, if given vectorically to V, we get the value of E. Then in the fourth step, we will next find the no load curve field excitation for voltage E. Let it be IF1. Further, field current IFR necessary for balancing armature reaction is found from the Portier triangle. Combine IF1 and IF2 vectorically as a Ampere turn method to get the value of IF. So read from no load curve the EMF corresponding to IF. This gives us the value of E0, hence the regulation can be found. So this is the actual procedure for finding out the voltage regulation by ZPF method. So it will be very simple or very accurate method to finding out the voltage regulation of the alternator. So for understanding of that particular thing, again I am repeating the steps. First of all, draw the zero power factor full load current, because as we get the value of OA, so first of all draw that is first curve, then draw the no load curve. We have the value that is 45 degree. So first of all draw the BH value, that is BHD. So this is BHD triangle, which will shows you the Portier triangle BHD. So after drawing the BHD, this is the full load zero power factor curve, and this is the no load power factor curve. So the triangles are remaining the same magnitude over that particular value. So this will be give you the value that is DE, give you the value of IXL drop. So this is the beauty of this method, because in that method we are considering that drop, that is IXL drop. So from that particular thing we have to draw same thing, that is the value of IF1. So we know the value of IF1, so that is a value of IF1 can be drawn here, that is the value of IF1. So we have the value that is called as the D drawn. So depending upon the power factor. If the power factor is leading, so it will be drawn 90 plus theta, so it will give you the total value of IF. So if we increasing this IF to the different point, so considering that particular graph, so this will be the IF1, this will be the IF2, this will be the total IF, then increasing that IF to a field current value and extending to the point, that is point 4 to the no load curve, then it is drawn to the voltage phasor. It will give you the value of, it will give you, that is the value, so it will be drawn, that is JK, to the phasor diagram, and that will give you the value of E0, and from E0 we can easily calculate the value of voltage regulation by zero power factor method for finding out the regulation of a alternator. So this method is very popular because it will consider all the of armature reaction as well as the IXL and the IXAR drop of a alternator. So thank you very much.